An alpha is confident, disciplined, focused. They take charge and lead. Raising an alpha means developing basic traits and qualities. Alpha instincts. Taking care of the ones you love and looking after the ones you protect. We make decisions to inspire others, command our troops from the front lines. These make up strong alphas. We are persistent, patient, respectful. We have the ability to communicate well, to strive for the best, to win. We raise them to win. This is the Raising Alphas Project.
Well, hello everyone. Steve Davis here, and I got to my left, David Panzik. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, my friend. How are you?
Doing well. So we are here again for our fourth episode, Episode 4, and we've got a bunch of nice different topics. We are moving this right along, aren't we?
Oh, man, we're just a freight train to the top.
Freight train to the top. You know, it's a little bit of a setup, but we are figuring it out. I think we're getting better at it. It's not polished yet, but we are getting closer to
Look
that.
out, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, look
Coming
out.
for you, bro.
So today we're going to talk about sports and competition. I think that there's some importance to competition, and David and I want to talk about this. We're going to recognize a local hero, and we got a couple new segments that we'd like to talk about.
Ooh, I'm excited about those.
Me too. So, David.
Yes, sir.
What is the importance of competition? You know, you and I are both soccer coaches.
Yep.
We've talked about that on the last 3 episodes. That we have a soccer team. I have 3 teams that I coach, and this is really what inspired us to start Raising Alphas Project. This is why we started to get in there, as the influential role of being a soccer coach, of being a coach, and how men and women should be more involved and engaged in their children's lives when it comes to sport activity. So, importance of competition. What do you think? Let's talk about it.
Well, simple saying: thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. What are you going to learn from it? How are you going to act if you win? How are you going to act if you lose? Are you going to pout about it? Are you going to blame other people about it, or are you going to take ownership of it? Are you going to try to better yourself? You know, and a bit about life too. You live a difficult life that is meaningful rather than a meaningless life that is easy. You want hardships. You get a lot more satisfaction when you achieve hard goals.
And you know what's funny about that is, you mentioned life, and we'll start with this: is we are seeing in our current society, our current era of time, that people don't know how to accept defeat. How many people did you see cry in the streets after the 45th president won? It was insane when Trump won. Yeah. when in 2000, was it 2016 when he was elected president?
Yep.
And how many people were crying? They just can't accept defeat. And then even to last year, these last couple of years, the meltdowns that we're seeing from people, just because they're having a loss. They lose it every day.
Can't cope.
They cannot cope. And why I bring this up is because I've actually got a story about this. This week I was teaching my oldest how to play Monopoly. So we have an Avengers
fun game,
which I think right there. Am I pointing the right way? This way.
Delayed on the camera.
Delayed on the camera.
Stereo.
So we have the Avengers. We were coaching, or I was teaching them how to play Monopoly with the Avengers and the Avengers edition. And you got Park Place, I believe is what's his name? Bad guy in Thor, the brother.
Oh, Loki.
Come
on, man.
Ah, geez, it just slipped my head right now. So Loki is Park Place, and then you have a couple other players. You know, you've got like Iron Spider is
okay.
Maria Hill. You've got Maria Hill is like the Baltic one. It's like the brown one at the very beginning of Monopoly, and then you've got Nick Fury, which is also one of the brown ones. It's not worth a whole lot of money, and so when you get around. Normally in Monopoly, you get like Kentucky, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Those are the big ones. Those are the ones I always grab.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, I played Monopoly with my son, and I've got my own system on Monopoly, and I'm not gonna pat myself on the back, but I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I'm pretty
It's
good.
foolproof.
Yeah, it's not foolproof, but I've got definitely a system in place, and so I played my oldest. He's 7, and I spanked him. I'm just gonna spank you.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I took all of his money and I left him living like just this is horrible. And a 7-year-old, he was upset. He lost.
Sure. Yeah.
He lost, and
Yeah.
he was upset. And normally I'm like, hey man, but I let him do it this time. I just let him feel that defeat, that fail. And I said, after he got done, throwing his tears and all that, I said, let me show you how to play this, and I'm going to teach you my tricks of this game and how I win this game. And I showed him a couple things, and I said, this is what you're going to do. And I know Monopoly is one of those by chance games.
Sure.
You roll the dice.
Yeah.
And you got to collect certain things.
Don't
But
go
I
to
think there's a
jail.
little bit
Yeah.
of strategy in it too.
Absolutely.
And so I taught him it, and we played the next day, and he beat me. He did exactly what I said, and he beat me. Now I could say that I probably gave him a little things here and there,
Sure.
and I kind of turned my head on a couple things, but he did beat me, and
He may have robbed the bank a couple times.
he
but...
well, I don't know, he might have, but he beat me, but he wanted to win, and I taught him how to win, and he wanted to win, and based on what you were just saying is in life, we have taught people how to not win, and winning is not everything, and it's okay to lose, which I'll talk about. It's okay to lose in a little bit, but in life, if you don't know how to lose at something as simple as a board game or a soccer game or whatever, you grow up to life throwing yourself in the streets because the president you wanted to win didn't win.
I mean, you're a pushover. You're weak.
Exactly.
Essentially. Yeah. You're passive, aggressive, frustrated. When you have those outlets, when you have those competitive outlets, whether you're winning or losing, you don't always have to win, but competition is extremely important. And when you're involved in that, a passive person becomes more assertive. You have a weak person become more strong, more confident. Pushover finds their voice. You're aggressive. Yeah, you get your appropriate outlet and a place to channel that energy.
We are seeing today these kids that have grown up in a society that have it's okay as long as we're having fun. I had a
I'm
young.
all about having some fun, but I want to win.
I want to win. Winning is
What's more fun than having fun?
What's more fun than fun? Winning.
That's right.
And we say that on the soccer field
right.
all the time. What's more fun than fun? And the kids respond with winning, because losing sucks.
Yeah.
Let's just be straight out and blunt. It sucks. And so life, we see a lot of adults now that have no idea how to cope with losing, because they have grown up in a society with betas that have said, it doesn't matter if you win, as long as you had fun, as long as you tried your best. Well, I don't disagree with that, but we should be coaching people to win. I want the best competition on the soccer field. I want the parents coaching their kids to be the best and wanting to win. That way, when my kid gets out there, he's going against a strong player.
Yep.
Because he's having that competition.
Yeah. Well, I mean, having that competition too, it's extremely important as an adult as well. I've had moments in my life where, things just weren't good. I just wasn't happy about places where I was, just work, just kind of coasting through. And I got out of a workout routine. I wasn't eating very well, and it just affected everything about my personality. And you find that when we're built for competition, we're built for battle. Keeping us from that is how you, like I said earlier, how you keep us pushovers. I found that I was, during this time, way more short with my children and with the wife. I was a lot more frustrated that I didn't have that outlet, so I let it out on them. Just be having the short temper, and competition brings balance, man.
Competition does bring balance, and honestly, that's something that we have to instill into our children as the role models, as the male figure, as the alpha male, as the alpha female in the house, that this is exactly why we push this, competition,
Yeah.
strong competition.
Yeah. I was always competitive growing up. I mean, we spoke like early on an earlier episode. Like I wasn't in great shape growing up. I was lazy, as athletic as I was. I never put like the extra effort into it to be great at it. I just went with natural ability. I remember, so my brother, he's 10 years older than me, and we had a basketball court in our backyard. And I was prepping for him to come home from school. He was out in college. He went to Temple. I was prepping for him to come home from school for the summer because I was going to beat him in basketball. I'd never beaten him in basketball. I was ready. I mean, practiced all my crazy shots, and I put everything. We were doing best of 3. I put everything that I had in game 1 because that's the only stamina that I had for it. Let's say we're playing to 12, and I would keep it close. I would almost beat him. He'd end up winning like 12-9 or 12-10, something like that. And then the second game, because I was just pissed off, gassed, I had no energy in me, he would just blow me out in it. And I remember him telling me, he was just like, I would always like really try that first game, but I didn't put everything that I had into it because I knew if you beat me that first game, I had you on stamina game 2 and 3, and I was gonna take it to you. I was like, oh, damn it, you're right. I'm fat, I know.
And you said,
thanks for rubbing it in.
That's what he said.
Yeah. But no, I definitely had that competitive drive growing up. I just, like I said, I was just lazy. If I didn't, I took it personal when I lost. I didn't take it out. I didn't.
Well,
I would go inside
and why
and
do you
eat
think
bad
that is?
food.
Do you think you just didn't know how to cope with those things, or what was?
I was a poor loser.
Poor loser.
I was a poor loser.
I mean, you know what? I think people are going to have that too. You're going to have the poor, those poor losers that just can't cope with it. But I think if people are taught how to do it, we talked about this a few weeks back. Is when we coached our kids, parents versus kids, we smoked them, and they were pretty upset.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't take it well. And to be expected, but they all had to run a lap too. And we wanted them to feel that pain of losing, because on Saturday was the game.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday was we don't want what happened on Wednesday to happen again. Let's go out there and win. And that's because that feels good. We can go after the game and get our snacks, and it was our last game, and just go out with a bang. And this is exactly what we're instilling in them. So this summer, I took up a futsal team, and futsal is a little bit different than outdoor soccer. It's essentially played on a basketball court, indoor soccer, but no walls. Same basic fundamentals of soccer, but the ball is a little bit harder. It's a fast-paced game on a basketball court, so it's up and down the court really, really fast, just like you would playing soccer or playing basketball, up and down the court. And so my kids, they never played it before, and they got out there, and the first game they got destroyed. They were pretty upset. You could see the defeat in the parents, like, because we're used to winning.
Yeah.
And
this wasn't a good idea.
This wasn't a good idea. But we have 7 and 8 year olds playing in a U9, U10 league. So they are playing against much older kids that have played this particular type of soccer. And the purpose of me doing the futsal was really just so the kids could have that level up of competition, and so they could feel what it feels like to lose a lot, and then also start working on their skills. They're working on passing, dribbling, up-pace type of scoring,
Mm-hmm.
up-pace type of game strategy, because we want to have a high-paced game. And so they're losing a lot. I think we won our second game this past weekend. We had
Last game, right?
this last game. So we're 2-4, and then we've got 2 more games.
Okay.
All my kids, they feel excitement when they get that win, and it's because they've been losing. I mean,
you're going against 9 and 10 year olds,
right?
Right. Yeah, be excited.
Yeah,
You earned
I
it.
mean, look, these kids are beating, and you could see the level of just, man, I can't believe we lost. We're not used to this.
Yeah.
But it's teaching them that losing is okay. And
How are you going to respond?
how are you going to respond? We're going to go out there and we're going to be a savage the next time,
Mm-hmm.
this because we don't want this to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
And so, teaching kids how to lose teaches them how to win. Essentially, it teaches them to develop that I don't want this to happen again. It
Mm-hmm.
teaches them, okay, failing is an option, but I don't want to fail, so I'm going to find ways so I'm not failing, that I'm going to win. And that's exactly what I think they're learning right now, and we're going to really see that because we're going into the
U9, right?
U9, yeah, we
U9
are going to
for
the
fall.
U9 for the fall.
Mhm.
So we are going to be playing some older kids. Our kids are going to be turning 8, and so that's exciting. I'm looking forward to that.
With this competition too, it isn't just directed at sports. This isn't just a sports
Sure.
thing.
No.
You're looking at life, your career.
Correct.
So I probably didn't really start turning around for me as far as my how to handle losing like well and responding appropriately as I should, till I actually started going to school to be a firefighter. Things like, and getting around that more competitive environment. Who can don your SCBA the fastest?
Right.
How many towers can you do in that weighted vest?
Right.
Who can throw up that ladder the fastest? That's when it really took off for me. And even in like the private sector in sales, working on site in sales with somebody, it's like, okay, you did X more sales than I did last month.
Right.
Like, good job, man. I'm coming after you next month.
Yeah,
bro. Just know that I'm coming after you.
At work, I have a win board, and it has all my wins on it. And I shouldn't say all my wins. It has the department wins that since I've been there. And so I write down those wins. And if someone in the office or someone from the field comes into my office and says, "Hey, I want to put this on the win board because I want to get this win," I will write it up on the board. And that type of mentality changes the whole dynamic of just the workplace. Because people want competition. I don't know why we've gone into this participation is okay. And, participation is one thing. We were talking about it before we went recording, is that, there's some events that you do as a large group.
Massive achievements.
Masses of achievements.
Personal achievements.
Personal achievements that are, you get participation or, medaled at the end.
Tough Mudders.
Tough Mudder, Spartans.
Spartans. The
triathlons, marathons.
That's awesome.
Those things I could not. I've been swimming for the last several weeks, probably about 6-7 weeks now, maybe 8, and just trying to get into that endurance in the pool again.
Swimming's tough,
and it is tough. Now I can run, but swimming is I'm getting better.
Do you like running? Like just going for a run?
No one likes running.
Okay, all right. I was gonna make.
I mean, who likes running?
Weird.
I guess there are some people that like running.
Weird. Have you? We're talking about Tough Mudder. Have you ever done Tough Mudder?
Never.
All right,
but I did all that kind of stuff in the Army, and it wasn't fun.
Yeah. Okay. All right. we got to get you one. I've done, I think, 3 of them. Did 3 of them, and I am with you. Like, I hate running.
Sure.
I can't just go on a 3-mile run as exercise.
Right.
I'm miserable at it. I don't have the mindset for it. I'm half mile in. I'm just like, why am I doing this? This is awful. I should stop right now and turn around. But Tough Mudder, 10 miles. You say, hey, David, you want to go on a mile run? I'm like, no, I do not. Like, how about a 10-mile run, but every half mile or so you have like obstacles. I'm like, let's go, bro.
Yeah,
I'm in.
Well, and that's the thing, and those are essentially participations, but they're really huge personal achievements. And I've never done a Tough Mudder. I'll take you up on that. I'll do one with you. And but I don't think that's what we're talking about. People want competition. It's clear. I don't know why we're teaching that it's okay to just show up. It's okay. That's not okay. Look at kids now when they play video games. Now, and if you're playing a video game, you're not going in there and just I see them. They always want to win. Look at my kids. We talked about this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
For video games, if you're playing a video game, you're not going in there trying to lose, right? You're going in there trying to win, whether it's whatever, whatever game you're playing.
Call of Duty is what the kids are playing.
Well, that's what I used to play. Call of Duty, Halo.
It's much tougher now. The kids are mean now. I can't do it
Well,
anymore.
they kind of get on these little tangents.
So mean.
But I could tell you, like my kids, first one up the stairs wins. First one to get in the truck and put on their seatbelt wins.
Mm-hmm.
And they love the competition because they want to win.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why we teach our kids that we don't make competition part of an everyday life, because this is going to help them lose and cope with losing.
No, absolutely. And, think about it. And when we're talking about the work environment with the competition, you want people to do better. You want them to win. What does that do for your business?
Sure.
Makes it better.
Right.
Happier work environment as
Right.
well. And that's the thing with team competitions. It socializes children. You're getting them out in that social environment. You're teaching them to value something above themselves, overlook the ego, and working on a team. Same thing in the business environment. You're socializing with all these different personalities, overlook your ego, working on a team. Everybody's happy. The business is doing great.
If you create that competition, you're going to, like you said, improve your business.
Yep.
You're going to, and these are things that parents, when you start teaching your kids about competition, about sport, these are what you're looking at. These are the things that you're looking at. I'm teaching my boys that I want them to win, that winning is part of life. But once you lose, we have to be able, let's get them through that. It's not always about that. And I think we got to teach them at a young age.
Yeah. Well,
And that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, we have our oldest, Brody. He's done a few. It's been a little bit, but we got to get him back. We're going to get him in the next one. He's done a handful of jiu-jitsu tournaments. I think he's done. No, actually, he's done 2 of them. First one he ever did, he came second in his age group. He got a silver medal. Second one he did, he came third. He got a bronze, and they weren't handing them out to everybody there. Like,
I like
kid,
it.
You got your bronze, you got your silver, and you
I like
got your gold. But we're going to get him back into it. We got out of it a little bit just with, him trying to get him back motivated with the jiu-jitsu. But the kid's a stud, man. The kid's an absolute stud where he can get a gold in it. It's just, he's got something in the mind going on right now. Got him above a mental thing.
We didn't talk about it, but Brody actually was the lead
Yeah.
of the Music Man.
Music Man, Professor Harold Hill. You were there?
I was there. I really enjoyed it. He talk about a winner, man. He knew not only all his lines, and I was pretty impressed, but he learned it in 3 weeks.
3 weeks. He was like
That was
motioning
about
the kids for other lines.
How long was that show?
20 to 30 minutes.
Was it that all?
Yeah.
I thought it seemed a little bit longer.
It may have been closer to 30, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. But I mean, this kid had all his lines memorized. 8 years old. He had his lines.
He had other kids' lines.
Everybody else's
he was
lines.
Telling other kids'
He was kind of like, that's something we're going to have to work on.
Yeah.
He was like,
it's like, come on, bro.
Like whispering and like, oh, this is what you got to say.
You're embarrassing me.
Yeah. But, man, talk about a winner. He knew all those lines. It only took him a couple of weeks to memorize it.
He had
Very impressed.
Had all the songs. He was projecting. You could hear him. Then in that, if you know Music Man, you know the song Shapoopy.
Shapoopy, yeah.
And him and the lead female in there, they pull out this dance.
The dance,
We're
it was impressive too. Like,
what
all right,
was that?
I didn't know you had those dancing shoes.
Put a soccer ball on him now. He's dancing all over the place.
Now that I know you can move your feet like that, you've been talking about being a striker, but he's more of a sweeper right now.
Yeah, absolutely. No, he's got a foot on him.
He's got a foot.
But he won that. That was
yeah. No, my
watch.
boys were both impressed. I think they enjoyed it.
That's awesome.
The theater and everything. So that's kind of a cool too. And I think it was a big win.
Absolutely.
For Brody.
He worked hard for it. I know he was nervous going into it. And I told him before he walks out there, if you're nervous, like bro, just stop. Like, don't walk on stage and just take a deep breath, exhale. You're good, man. And he told, whether he did it or not, I don't know. Maybe he was just trying to make me feel better, but he said he did it and it helped.
Yeah. Well, like I said, he did really good. And to your point, this sport, this competition, it doesn't necessarily pertain to just football, soccer, some of the more athletic type of things. This could pertain to a career. This could pertain to schoolwork. Getting. I want to be the best in the class. I want to have the top grade, or in Brody's case, be the lead role. The lead role, and he was not the oldest kid in that group.
He was not by a long shot.
Yeah, there was a lot of older kids there that could have easily picked up that and taken the role.
Yep.
but Brody did it, and the way my perspective, from my perspective, he is the winner, the alpha in that group. He took the lead and he ran with it, literally.
Absolutely, man. Very, very proud of him. Can't wait to see what he does next.
So yeah, competition in life, I think, is important, and this is what we're seeing today. This is why we're having a failed society. Is because too many people for too long have been told that it's okay. You just to make sure you're having fun. All right, well, you don't know how to cope with losing, and when you don't know how to cope with losing, you lose your mind, and then you're not able to cope with any of it.
It affects all aspects of your life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, well, that's our for sport and competition. That's really what we're hoping to hit. On our next segment, we had a recognition today. We want to recognize a local hero. Austin Duran. He's a Apopka, Florida fireman, 25 years old. Only worked in the fire service for maybe 2 years. Lost his life last week after a really unfortunate and tragic accident, moving a trailer, and it ended up hurting him. There was a lot of discussion around it for the first few weeks he was injured, that he was going to recover and get out of it and be able to come back to work after lots of surgeries and stuff. And it's unfortunate. Austin ended up losing his life, and active duty death, line of duty death, and we recognized him and honored him today in Apopka. We had a long fire service procession, and for any of you that are listening out here, I know a lot of people that might be listening are actually firemen. They may or may not have been at this funeral today, but it's really sad, that someone so young, so early in his career.
Yeah.
I started in the fire service at 25 years old, and to know that 25 years old, he has a couple years on the service than I did at the time. I started at 25, but to look back when I started in the fire service at a tragic accident, just going into work, this wasn't a fire, that's, those are things that you expect to happen. But, we've lost firefighters around the world to, car accidents, just unfortunate things, unexpected, and this was just, he wasn't doing any training. We've lost firefighters years ago. We lost some firefighters to a fire training accident, just putting too much fire load into the fire, into the burn house. But for Austin to lose his life, just normal routine day going in, it's just unfortunate. It's real tragic. And, our hearts go out to his family, out to the Apopka Fire Department. You guys, I know you guys are hurting. I know you guys are going to be fine. Austin's legacy will live on. I've lost a couple firefighter friends in my career to cancer and to some other things, to accidents, and it's not easy, And these are things that we want to just recognize Austin today. He's in heaven, and he's he was that alpha that came in, chose a career. He wanted to help the community. He wanted to help people out, and so we want to just give a shout out to the Apopka Fire Department. We're thinking of you guys. Our thoughts and prayers, our hearts are with you. I attended it today, and again, just recognizing Austin for his life.
Is there any place anywhere can go for donations for helping out with the family?
I know they have a GoFundMe right now and a Gifts and Go. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I could probably look it up before we get it, before we close out, and then try to find that. But yeah, there is some stuff,
sure,
some donations.
Do a search in the GoFundMe for his name.
GoFundMe or Gifts and Go, and help out his family. I know that they would that would be appreciated.
Absolutely.
The cost of the medical expenses does, I would imagine, get passed on. And that's not cheap at all. And then anything that would just help recognize Austin. So
absolutely.
We've got a couple new segments that David had brought to. We're trying to improve this podcast, and we've got some new things coming out. Hopefully this week we're going to put some stuff into play, so this is a better podcast, not only for us but for the listener out there.
Right.
And so we're working towards that. But David had brought up some new segments I think we're going to start working towards. David, you want to go ahead and start?
Oh, I'd love to, man. So our first new segment, we're going to introduce an alpha of the week.
Alpha of the week.
Of the week. So this is going to be whether it be on a local level or national level, somebody to recognize. Who we are recognizing as our first alpha of the week is going to be, I'm probably going to mispronounce this last name wrong, Nicholas Bostic. Nicholas Bostic. So he's 25-year-old Indiana. Yep, Indiana pizza delivery guy. So he was, and this is a story that's going around right now, so you probably have already heard it, but he was driving his car at about 12:30 and found a 2-story house that was quickly going up in flames. So what he did, he stopped his car, quickly dove into action, and he essentially ended up saving 5 kids that were in that house, or 5 occupants that were in the house, 18 being the oldest one. The last one, though, he ended up going back in the house when the family realized they were still missing him. 6-year-old sister that was still inside. He ends up going back inside on his hands and knees, crawling through the smoke, finds her, and couldn't find his way back out. So he went back the path of exit he knew there was and ended up jumping out the 2nd-story window.
Wow.
Breaking the window with his hands, jumping out, landing on his side to protect the little one. And I don't know if you've seen the video of it. Have you seen the
I
video?
haven't. I didn't hear about it until...
Check out the video of it, and you see him handing this girl over to the paramedics or fire service as they show up. And you see the blood on him. I don't know if he ended up cutting an artery or what happened, but you could see that he was hurting. He was just covered in black from the smoke. And the first thing he asked while he's sitting down being treated, he's like, are the kids okay? Top-notch stuff, man. You pulling it up right now?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now to see it. Yeah, because I hadn't seen it.
But yeah, that's Nicholas Bostic in Indiana, and he is in the hospital right now. He is recovering from his injuries. He is one that we're recognizing as our first alpha of the week, and he does it. We were talking about hospitals and surgeries and costs. They do have a GoFundMe out for him at the moment too. I'm sure any help that he's able to get would be greatly appreciated. Somebody who didn't care about his own health, didn't care about his own life, saw somebody in trouble.
Look at this. I cannot believe it. I mean, he's pulling that little, it looks like a little girl.
Could have easily just...
Pizza guy to the rescue.
Could have easily just pulled out a phone and recorded everything.
Could have. You know what? That pisses
content.
Me off, where people are, where something bad is happening and no one's, we see people getting hurt. People getting beat up, people getting assaulted and all kinds of stuff, and they're sitting around on their phones.
Yep.
React. You men need to start reacting to that stuff like that. You start being warriors and start interjecting. This is insane. Yeah, I can see he's got some burns on his hands. I mean, this guy is a true hero, a true alpha. This guy risked his life selling pizzas, delivering pizzas, and goes in there and just saves these kids.
Yep.
Looks like he had some hospital.
Yeah, he had some good inhalation. They got him tubed and everything.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, we want to recognize...
Top-notch alpha.
Recognize Nicholas. Great job, man, and I hope you're recovering well.
Absolutely.
That's just a really, truly amazing story that he saved those kids' lives, that he was able to recognize, put his life in danger, go in that house. And for those of you who have never been in a house fire, it gets smoky. You can't see. And I saw the house. That house was burning. That was a legit fire.
It was. It's probably possible that when they pulled up, they may not have even made entry with how inflamed that was.
Yeah. I can tell you that you see, and anyone that watches that's not a firefighter, you see a lot of these. And don't get me wrong, I'm a sucker for these shows, but these shows on TV, they will have. The guys go into what looks like a ripping house fire, a ripping building fire, and it's completely, you can see through everything. You can see wall to wall. It's clear. That is not the way a house fire is. That's not how a burning house, a building fire is. It is black, 100%. You can't see your hand in front of your face. It is black.
Keep the right hand on the wall and keep searching.
You can't see anything. And the reason Hollywood does that is so you can kind of, see what's going on. I mean, they're telling a story, so that's why it's done. But everyone has this misunderstanding, this misconception of there, you can't see anything. So the fact that this pizza guy went in there with all hell,
no training,
goes in there, saves these kids.
Pure adrenaline.
And just, I mean, true here. I hope a local fire department goes and recruits this guy and says, "We got everything.
Yeah.
We will pay for your shoot. You come down here to Lake County. I might not be able to pay for everything, but I will push. I will push for it. I'm a division chief down here, and I will push to have you be a fully go through EMT, paramedic, and fire school. I will push to have that done. Nicholas, you hear this? I will push for that. So come down here. You call me.
That's it. Yeah, I'd love to. We were talking about this before, where we can get to a point where we have like an Alpha of the Week T-shirt.
Yeah.
All right. So,
yeah.
I want to be at. I want to be at a point where
You are our
recognize something like this. We want you. You verify who you are to us. Like you reach out to us,
Yeah.
and we will send you that shirt.
Hey, and you know what? And shoot, Alphas of the Week. We would love to have them on the show. I mean, this is just a new segment, but have Alphas on the week, and then bring them in and hear their story, and maybe they were raised by an alpha, or maybe they are raising alphas, or something to that. Maybe that's what we learned.
They're
their
new
stories.
to the cycle. They're the original alpha,
or they're the original alpha.
T-shirts.
But I want to definitely recognize Nicholas for that.
Awesome stuff, man.
And so real quick, I know I said I'd get back to it. Going back to Austin Duran, severely injured, and then he lost his life last week, and we had his funeral today. There is a GoFundMe. I talked about that. It's the title of it is an Apopka firefighter Austin Duran severely injured. If you were just to search that in the search bar, you're going to find it. Austin Austin Duran Duran, and
I'm just looking at that anonymous donation right there. That's awesome. You got some really good people, man.
Really great people.
Yeah.
He's raised $83,000 right now. His family, and their goal is $100,000. So let's get that out there. Moving on to our next segment, David. What is our new make a little light of our show a little bit?
Well, I'm gonna ask you, if we do an Alpha of the Week, what else do we need to do?
If we're alphas and we're raising alphas, then there's got to be something.
There's something else on the other side
Betas.
of the spectrum. Beta of the
Betas
week.
of the week. And
Beta of the week.
Beta of the week. And we're going to recognize you because here it comes.
Well,
Beta of the week. You're dealing with two alphas here. And what was our nickname when we walked into that event last week?
We overhear somebody saying, "Oh, look, here come the alphas."
Here come the alphas,
like,
and so that's kind of a cool something that we heard the other day. And so the alphas are calling you out. So here comes the betas. We're going to call you out. So beta of the week. Go ahead, David.
So this up and coming comedian and YouTuber troll Primetime Stein. You know him, Steve?
Hilarious.
Yes. And you know what? I did not like him until I realized everything he was doing was a troll.
He was trolling people.
I was like, "This okay? Never mind.
Man.
This is great.
Yeah.
This is absolutely great."
Me too.
So, this isn't new news by any stretch, but he was on the Capitol Hill steps.
Yep.
He was doing a little trolling of AOC. So, paraphrasing, look at that juicy Latina, booty.
Yep.
Just really trolling her. She likes to kill babies, but she looks so good in that dress.
Yep.
Things like that.
Yep.
Okay. And AOC is a very, very, very stupid person. All right. And let's be honest, she is the product of college education right now, university education of always wrong, but never in doubt.
Yep.
So immediately after this happens, she didn't by all means walk away pretending to be handcuffed like she just did recently, but she did go out called on all of her followers to boycott or attack this man or things of that. And one of the other things that she did, she posted onto her Instagram story. She said, "Good men, what advice do you have for other men who want to be good too?" Which I thought was pretty funny.
The irony.
First of all, this is somebody who completely was just like, yes, go on protest in front of Supreme Court justice houses.
Right.
Go do all those things.
Right.
But taking all that out of it, all right, if you watch this video, you see a figure walking in the group with her, which I'm 99% sure is her fiance, Riley Roberts.
Okay.
All right? And I don't know if you've ever seen this guy, but picture, just have the name Riley Roberts in your mind. And then when you see him, you'll be like, that's exactly what I expected a Riley Roberts to look like.
Okay.
All right.
So he basically left her standing there.
He kept walking. And then she comes to the public. Good men, what advice do you have for other men who want to be good too? And it's like, lady.
So
boyfriend
essentially, what
was
you're telling
right
me is
there.
essentially what you're telling me is this guy right here is walking with her. She's now being trolled by a dude.
Somebody saying
But
she's got a
he
sweet
doesn't
booty,
know
and
that.
he
She doesn't know that.
He just keeps walking.
He keeps walking.
He
Now,
doesn't say a
I'm
thing.
telling you right now, you walk up on my wife, you're getting decked.
Yeah, and you know what? And to,
With
and
stuff
to be
like
fair,
that.
To be fair, as much as I dislike her, all right,
Sure.
and as humorous as I find Primetime Stein, had he stopped stopped in his tracks and walked over to him and started saying stuff to him, props, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
like
true.
I'll give you all the credit in the
Well,
world for
and
doing that.
that's what a man is supposed to do.
Yeah.
That is why you and I are talking about this is because we're not teaching our boys to take care of things. And when they grow up to a certain age, they're supposed to be opening the door for ladies. They're supposed to be doing those things. They're supposed to be the strong person in the relationship to say, "Hey, I will protect you."
Yeah.
And that woman should know that. Not that she doesn't have a little bit of spunk in her, because she does. But she should have a strong man not backing her, but stepping between the threat and her. And that's why we have now labeled this guy, Riley Roberts, our beta.
He just kept walking.
Of the week.
Beta of the week. And, I'd love to take credit for this, but I saw a photo comparison that somebody made where they compared after they announced their engagements, AOC and Riley Roberts, somebody compared them to the Walmart versions of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. I was like, that's beautiful.
Oh, God. Wow, that's hilarious.
But yeah, that is our first edition of Beta of the Week, Riley Roberts. Congratulations. Riley.
We'll get you a shirt too.
We'll get you a shirt. You reach out to us. We'll verify it's you. We will happily send you a shirt.
Send you a shirt, Beta of the Week, and you wear that thing with pride.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
All right. So David, I think we got a wrap.
That's a wrap, my friend.
All right, that's a wrap. One last thing. Where can you find us?
We are on Instagram.
Instagram.
Raising Alphas _project. We have a Facebook page up as well. We don't have a lot of activity going on the Facebook page at the moment, but it is going to be something where we want to in the future do like Q&A sessions on there. Ask us a question we're going to talk about in our next episode.
Okay.
And have a bit more interaction with that. So you have me. I'm on Instagram at David Panzik. I'm on Facebook now as well. And we have, we have our shirts. We have our Raising Alpha shirts. We have our Youth Generation Alpha shirts as well. We have those out and available on our website, raisingalphasproject.com.
Yep.
I don't know. And if you enjoy the show,
share the show.
Screenshot it.
Send it out.
Tag us in it. Let your friends know. Help us spread the word.
Share it on Twitter. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Instagram. Share it everywhere.
We do all those things. We got something coming up in the next week or two that's going to help us with getting this out there more.
Yep.
We'll dive into a little bit more on that next episode, but we got exciting stuff coming up.
You can find us now. We just came out on Apple Podcasts, so we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on all. We're Spreaker. We've got all kinds of different platforms that we're getting the message out there. That is what the Raising Alphas Project is. We're going to be doing events, and that's where you can find us. If you want to know where our next event is, hopefully we'll have those up here real soon. But we have a calendar page on our home page. So that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
An alpha is confident, disciplined, focused. They take charge and lead. Raising an alpha means developing basic traits and qualities. Alpha instincts. Taking care of the ones you love and looking after the ones you protect. We make decisions to inspire others, command our troops from the front lines. These make up strong alphas. We are persistent, patient, respectful. We have the ability to communicate well, to strive for the best, to win. We raise them to win. This is the Raising Alphas Project.